have a zipper which is bad. The teeth are completely worn out at the beginning. This was a double-sided zipper because it's a long jacket. Now I'm going to replace the zipper with um, I need to unsew the whole jacket. Now there's a little problem here. There's a hidden pocket, and this is going to be somewhat difficult to take out. Also, the problem with sewing a jacket like this is different material. The back material is much more stretchy than the front material, and so it doesn't stretch at the same rate. So I need to completely glue the replacement zipper before I sew it. So here I need a fresh blade and just unsew the old zipper. Now if you think this is a fun job, well, I like your idea of fun. This is anything but fun. As you can see, this layer is so fragile that when I unsew it, it just rips the background material, so I can't unsew from that direction. I'll try the other one. There we go. So zippers have always been my worst thing to do, simply because the way you stick or the way you sew a replacement zipper is not the same way the factory used to do it. It's actually in reverse. The factory did it first, and they have steps that they follow. We can't follow these steps. I had to speed up the video a little bit because just seeing me struggle to take off the old zipper is just really annoying. So I sped the video 4 times. All in all, it took about 10 minutes to remove the old zipper. So it's a time-consuming, tedious job. But if you want good results, you have to take your time and do it slowly. Also, just make sure you have a very sharp, very new blade, because if the blade is not sharp, then it's just that much more difficult.
Almost done the unsewing of the zipper, and that's just the flap there. Um, so it's a tedious job. I can't stress that enough.
Okay, so I'm going to sew the zipper to the inside flap. That's the first step. So it's a hidden step. I'm using a dual needle, but just a single needle on the dual needle, and I'm going to be putting in I'm using a zipper foot. For the people who don't know what a zipper foot is, it's a foot which has a very narrow space between the needle and the edge, so you can use the foot as a guide. Now, important to start at the very bottom, which is here. And, well, it appears that my foot was in reverse. No, I'm in the right. So start at the very bottom. There we go. I'm using a shorter stitch length than I would normally use. Now we need to align the top and the bottom as close as possible. And just sew away. Now for the very edge, I'm just going to curve so this is going to be inside my seam. Alright, everything looks fine from here. Okay, now it's time to glue the jacket or the zipper inside the jacket. So I'll have to change my view. Alright, so to glue this part, I'm going to be applying some contact cement. In this case, I'm using Barge glue. You may use your favorite glue. Barge is an industrial contact glue. Now the thing is, with contact glue, as with other contact glues, the Barge Cement, as with other contact glues, you can reactivate the glue with heat after it's completely dry, so you can ensure that you put it in exactly the right spot and then just heat it, and it's gonna just stick like there's no other. I'm just applying some glue somewhat liberally there, not too much, but make sure it's all shiny. Alright, I'll switch it around and just do the same with the other side. And just the edge we're worried about. I'm using a little horsehair brush with the hair cut off, so it's easy to apply. In my glue pot I have 3 different brushes, and it all depends on what job I have to do with it. So I could choose either brush. I have a longer hair brush, and this of course has much more glue on it, but you can't be as precise as this little brush has on the application. And then I don't want to have glue everywhere, just at the right spot. I'm using cardboard as a surface to glue on. This scrap cardboard from an old shipping box that I received. It's just so I don't gum up my sewing machine. There's enough stuff to gum up my machine. It doesn't need to be some glue. Alright, so if you hadn't had much fun yet, you can still sniff the residue of the glue. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. You'll get a nasty headache and not much fun from it. Alright, so the glue has been applied on both sides. Put this aside and let it dry. Now we'll work on the jacket. So now it's the turn of the jacket to receive some glue. As you expect, it's as much fun, or maybe more fun, than the rest. All this is like time consuming, and well, time consuming. You just have to take your time. You know, when you do this, you can't think about much other stuff there, and you Can't put glue residue in the front of the jacket. It's like a no-no, so just be careful. I just put some. And of course, not all jackets are the same. Some are actually impossible to do. Some are very difficult. This one would be difficult. Yeah, and the reason why it needs to be stuck is that this fabric just stretches, and once you start sewing it, the top is going to be not follow the bottom. So we're going to have pockets of fabric which didn't follow, and you got to be like really good to just freehand it. And well, I've done it a few times, and it is time saving, but if you screw up, then you gotta unsew again and restart. So if you're not sure, just glue everything prior. It makes sewing so much easier. Alright, so I got one side made, and since I don't want to jam all the glue on it, I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes, and then I'm going to get back to the front. If I do the front right now, I'm afraid to just gum up the whole thing. I'm just going to put some glue on the other side of the zipper for now. Alright, so that's the other side of the zipper. Just add some glue on this stick. Just brush some glue on it. Here it's less tedious because of course you can apply some glue a bit on the side. Don't have to be worried about gumming up your front or the front fabric. So just apply a little bit of glue, and now the glue, depending on its thickness and what glue you're using, it takes 5-10 minutes to dry. Just enough time to get you working on stuff and not be in too much of a hurry. But this zipper thing is not a small job. Now, when I was young, like high school, I had the choice to choose a seamstress, type course, and sewing machines and things like that. And I thought, oh man, this is not manly enough, so I never bothered sewing anything, taking the sewing course. Now maybe you should have taken the sewing course. I didn't know sewing machines were so, you can get big machines and some of them pretty scary. Alright, so that's this side. I'll just switch sides again. Alright, here we go. Now, for a repair like this, I charge $40, and some customers frown on that. Well, obviously, because their jackets is sometimes worth less than $40. But as you can tell, it's time consuming, and you gotta have the tools and stuff. It's really not. There's a French word for make money. It's just gonna glue the other side of the jacket, like the front here, or the back. I'll use the back. Put it on the back. There we go. That's the right side of the jacket. Now, keep in mind it's a women's jacket. And women's jacket, they don't work the same. Not sure why who invented that rule that the women's jacket shouldn't like open the same way, but such is life. I didn't really do it that way. Somebody else did for me. Now this is the part where the internal zipper jacket is. That's gonna be some fun to zip into. So and fun, I mean a sarcastic fun, not really fun. Anyway. Alright. So I'll pause for a while, make sure the glue dries, and then I'll take the other piece and just glue it on, and after that we may be okay to... Okay, so now I'm ready to apply the other side of the zipper. So here's the other side. Front is the start is here, so start with the starts. Same thing as the other one. Still a little. I want to match the beginning here with the beginning there, and here we go. Do this all along the zipper edge. Make sure you catch everything. Make sure everything is nice, but not stretched. You want everything just nice and We don't want any puckering when I'm going to be sewing a little later. So the contact glue here helps a lot to just position the fabric before I sew. Now you think that, well, I don't want to do that because I don't want to gum my needle with glue. Well, it's a worthy concern, because of course the contact glue is gummy. I'm going to have to pay particular attention to this region where the inner pocket goes, and I think I'm just going to sew that independently, just to position it. Alright, now there's a bit of zipper left over. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to snip it about an inch longer and just trim it like that, and just twist it inside like so. Alright, that's my thing. So, yeah. Just, can't we all just get along? Now I have to move the slide to an open position here because my foot is going to go out like that. If I can, it's always difficult to pry around. Okay, here we go. So now I have the difficult part up. I can just back that. Okay, now the rest of the zipper is glued on one side, on the flimsy side. So I should be able to just finish the zipper. But for that I will need some thread that matches more, and I don't have any. So I will just use some invisible thread. I usually don't like that, but that's the only choice that I have. References. Start a little bit before where the stitches used to be, so I can seal the old stitches. Yeah, this is monofilament. It's pretty invisible. It is visible, but if you can't match the thread, this is the best thing. It's not as solid as, say, heavier thread, but it does make a nicer job. if you notice that my foot always raises when I finish, it's because it's a programmable motor that I have on my machine. I programmed it to lift a foot after if I don't from the sewing. Now I got to be careful here because a pocket is coming in, and I don't want to screw up the pocket or have more work to do with the pocket. So I'm just gonna go around the edge here. And look at the pocket is right here. Now the pocket is closed now, so I could do quite a bit of distance without changing. It looks like I broke my thread or something. It didn't sew for a while. I gotta go back. Okay, so the thread, invisible thread is broke, and don't know why. It's so invisible that I didn't see it right. It was good, huh? Good news is the job was okay. Bad news is I gotta redo that a little bit. The invisible thread is so invisible that it's hard to thread. Can't see the thread. Even though my needle eye is pretty big, I have difficulty seeing it. Alright. Oh, there we go. It's in now. Let's reduce a little bit of the tension. I didn't have too much tension. And go back where I screwed up. Okay, again, it's the pocket, so I gotta be careful with the pocket. Oh no, what's going on? Now I'm so inside the pocket now that I need to open the zipper slide. Just to give myself a little room to maneuver. I can't sew over the slide. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm over the slide now. Drop my foot. Just keep on sewing. Hmm. Oops. Hole of the sewing machine, so I don't want to. Okay, so I need to start a little bit ahead of myself. Something like this. Far away there, I need to stay with the other stitch. And I think I don't have a thread. So I sewed nothing from here. Why is that? My bobbin broke. Alright, well, we got a second chance to do this right. so it looks like it's sewed well. See if we have a working jacket now. Very nice. Very nice, nice and even. No puckering here. So trim off the excess thread, and this is ready.